Welcome to Tea with Tanya. I'm your host, Tanya Ambrose, an average millennial navigating life as a maternal health professional, nonprofit founder, and grad student. Join me in the tea tasting room where we spill the tea on finding balance and promoting positive living while doing it all. Hey friend, welcome back to another episode of Tea with Tanya. I'm your host Tanya, and I'm happy to be here in the tea tasting room with you today for another episode. And in this episode, we are talking all about the strength of being a multifaceted woman. And throughout this episode, I'll share some brief tips and suggestions to help you embrace your many roles and facets with confidence. So we're going to be talking about being a multifaceted woman. Before we get into today's episode, I will share my tea of the day. I am having some peppermint tea. I am back here because it's just always my go-to tea for me to have peppermint tea. And, as it gets colder and colder here, I just try to find things that reminds me of back home in Antigua. So that's what I'm sipping on today, some peppermint tea. But I am excited to try some new teas that I am going to be getting. Some of them are loose leaf tea. I'm just excited for that. Hopefully, who knows? We'll see which brand we may want to hook your girl up with some tea, because you guys know I'm an avid tea lover. Nevertheless, today's tea is just regular peppermint tea with a little bit of lemon in it. Don't ask me why. It's just a combination. I'll be in my kitchen acting like I'm some chemist or some tea maker, in the sense of creating my own tea. So who knows? Maybe one day I'll have my own tea line. You just never know. But that's what I'm sipping on today. All right, let's get into the episode. We are talking about being a multifaceted woman. And when we're talking about being a multifaceted woman, that means, you possess or you have a wide range of skills, talents, interests, passion, or even roles in your life. It's all about embracing and understanding who you are and understanding that you can be a mother, you can be a partner, you can be a professional, you can be so much more, a sister, a mom, an artist, athlete, whatever it is. You can be so much more, all while being the same person. And that's something that I have struggled with as I matured, as I became older, as I started thinking about what I wanted to do. And, growing up in a social media era. I didn't totally grow up in that era, but as you get into your content creation, when I used to have my blog at the time, when I was in nursing school, I was talking about so many different things. And I remember thinking, I don't want to lose this one person or this audience because I'm talking about food 1 minute, then I'm talking about nursing, or I'm talking about healthcare, public health, whatever it is. I used to always feel lost. And it wasn't because I was actually lost. Sometimes you listen to outside noise, and they're telling you, oh, you need to niche down. Is it niche or niche? We're going to say niche. Oh, you need to niche down, and, you're supposed to only focus on one thing, or you're supposed to only have one passion. Like, I have this podcast. I have my nonprofit organization. I'm a doula. I work in the maternal health space. And there have been times where I've had individuals telling me, oh, you need to focus on one thing. You need to focus on one thing. You can't do it all. And there was a point in time where silly on me did believe what these people were saying, until it might have been, I forgot who it was, but it was a very close friend of mine who would have told me, why can't you do all? Why can't you do it all? And I was like, that was interesting, because that was always my goal. I'm like, why can't I do it all? Why do I have to only limit myself to doing one thing? Why should I only limit myself to just being a podcast host or a nonprofit founder or a grad student? Like, why should I only limit myself to one thing? And I remember one time it was someone who I trusted. And when I say trusted, I mean like someone who I thought would have understood or understand me as an individual. And they were telling me, oh, I don't know how you do it. You do too much. You maybe need to focus on one thing at a time. And I'm the type of person, if I can be honest with you, I'm the type of person that I'm a go-getter. I'm ambitious. I have really big goals that can scare anyone. And while I'm all for making sure that things are realistic, because that's a recurring theme on the podcast when we're talking about SMART goals and these different things, we want to make sure that things are realistic. But I dislike when someone tries to minimize my goals or try to make it seem like my goals are not attainable. Nothing ticks me off. When they talk about icks on TikTok, nothing icks. That's an ick for me. Don't tell me that I can't do something. Don't tell me to focus on one thing at a time. I'm not opposed to, of course, we have to make sure that our focus, being multifaceted and having our hands in a bunch of different things or having different passions. And if you're a mom or aunt or whatever it is, it can be a lot, it can be overwhelming. But I dislike when an individual tells a person to only focus on one thing. We're not meant to be one thing or one. We can do many different things once we put our mind to it. And of course, we're managing that time. So I never really liked when individuals would tell me I have to focus on one thing. And the minute that I let go from that, to me, limiting beliefs, I've been flourishing. I'm flourishing here on the podcast and the tea tasting room with you every week. I'm my nonprofit organization, Scrub Life Kids. We are thriving, we are growing. The many opportunities that are presented to us. And before I continue, I must give a shout out to Scrub Life Kids because we are celebrating our 3-year anniversary this month of November. 3 years, that's no easy feat. I did start and launch this nonprofit in 2020 in the height of the COVID-19 pandemic, okay? That is no easy feat. Again, when we talk about being a multifaceted person, sometimes you're going to do things that are not easy. That's going to push you out of your comfort zone. So yeah, shout out to Scrub Life Kids and for us celebrating 3 years. If you do want to support us, there will be a link in the show notes. We are collecting items for individuals who need menstrual products, clothing, hygiene products, whatever it may be. I will put the link for that Amazon wish link in the description box, or you can go to our website. If you want to donate, volunteer, whatever it is, you can feel free to reach out to us. So I had to just put that in there because it just dawned on me while I was talking about that. But yeah, as a multifaceted person, I'm able to have an interest in maternal health, menstrual health, reproductive health. I can talk about whatever. I can do whatever. I can have this podcast, have this nonprofit, have my life outside of work. I can be in grad school. I can really do it all. Did I say it's going to be easy? It is not going to be easy. It is not easy. Too many times people have asked me, I don't know how you do it, Tanya. I said, sometimes I myself don't even know how I do it. But when you have a goal and then when you set realistic goals for yourself, these things can happen. So what exactly does it mean to be a multifaceted woman? Multifaceted women, they are versatile. We are versatile. We're able to adapt easily to the many different situations and roles that we encounter. Sometimes we can find ourselves, or you'll find yourself being able to transition from a high-powered, let's say, boardroom, a meeting, whatever it is, to being a nurturing mother at home, to being a nurturing sister and aunt, to then being an activist in your community, or being that strong friend or that strong loving friend to someone. So, there's just this, the strength of a multifaceted woman is the versatility of it all. So you can do everything. You can be working your 9 to 5, being that boss lady, coming home, having to tend to your children, having to tend to whatever other passion projects that you have going on. So when it comes to being a multifaceted woman, it means to be versatile. But I will say, also as a multifaceted woman, it comes down to juggling different roles. So when you are multifaceted, it involves juggling multiple roles and your various responsibilities. You could be managing your career. You could be taking care of your family. You could be pursuing some sort of other passion that's personal to you, or you could be contributing to your community. Hello, that's me. All at the same time. So your ability, when we talk about multitasking, this is what we're talking about for a multifaceted woman, is the ability that you're able to wear many different hats without even wavering, because that means you are resilient. Of course, like I want to point out, every day is not going to be the same. You're going to have overwhelming days. But that's why also rest is important. But we'll talk about setting boundaries even as a multifaceted woman. Balancing these roles, the many different roles that you are responsible for, it can be a challenge. I will tell you that. Take it from me. It can be a challenge, but it's all about finding that, that harmony, that balance with the various responsibilities. Again, you're not going to be doing everything every single day. You just want to make sure that you have proper time management, you're setting boundaries, and you know what your priorities are. Even as a multifaceted woman, it for me personally, it's an ongoing journey of just continuously to rediscover myself. I'm able to explore my interests. I'm able to look at my different passions, and I can continue to learn. Because let me tell you this, I do not know everything. I am learning every single day. I don't know everything about maternal health. I don't know everything about child health. I don't know everything about childbirth, even though sometimes I think I do. I don't know everything about menstrual health and hygiene, even though sometimes I think I don't. I'm always constantly reading books or I'm reading articles so I can continue to be educated so that I can be of use and help to you to continue to empower you as we're on this journey to self-love, on this journey to health and wellness. We can talk about health and wellness and not necessarily know about our body. So when it comes to being multifaceted, it's always a journey, a consistent, continuous journey of your self-discovery, continuing to learn. Because it doesn't, the learning doesn't stop when you graduate from school. When you finish that certificate, you continuously work every single day. As a multifaceted woman, again, you may have a wide range of interests. If you're like me, you're going to be into sports. Because one thing about me, I'm going to watch that basketball game. I'm going to get upset. I'm going to send a tweet. One thing about me, I'm going to watch that football, the real football, aka soccer, for those of you who are not from Europe or the Caribbean. And I'm going to watch American football, which is the NFL. I'm going to do that. I am going to read a romance novel or whatever other book I want to read. I am going to do that. I'm going to be watching tennis. I mean, Serena is no longer playing, but I'm still watching it, I'm going to, whatever it is, you could be into science. There's so many different things. One thing about me, I'm going to talk always on the phone with my sister trying to solve the next public health crisis because, we are both public health professionals and we're so passionate that sometimes we're trying to figure out how we can solve this crisis or all these different things. So you can have more than one passion, when you have diverse interests, it adds some sort of richness to your life and contributes to your uniqueness. Like my dad used to call me unique back in the day. I don't know why he just didn't name me unique, but he used to call me unique. And when I think about it now that I'm old, I say I am unique in so many different ways. I really am unique. And as we continue to go about this life and we're embracing who we are as an individual with our many different interests, it's very empowering. It makes you feel free from any sort of societal expectations because you are confident in who you are and you're not confined to just being one role. There are individuals, again, even if you're not a multifaceted person, this is nothing against you. This is not saying that your life is boring. You choose to live the life that you want to live as long as you are happy. You know what I mean? As long as you're confident in who you are. So I don't want you to listen to this episode thinking that, Tanya is saying I have to be multifaceted. You don't necessarily have to. You just find things that you're able to see some personal growth, but at the same time feel empowered as well. So you definitely want to do that. When you become multifaceted and you have many different interests, it helps you with your commitment to yourself, commitment to your self-improvement, and it allows you to, it makes you more ambitious, makes you want to seek more opportunities so that you can continue to develop and hone your skills as well. So for me, like I said, this was an ongoing process for me. There's been moments where I was just like, oh my goodness, I can't do it all because people were trying to tell me that I could not do it all. And I'm sitting here sometimes and I'm like, wow, Tanya, you are actually doing it all. It can be a lot. And sometimes when people tell me that, oh, I don't know how you do it, as a term or to make me boost my confidence or as an term of endearment, it's just, I say sometimes I myself don't know how I'm doing it. It's just getting done. Sometimes the time management does not time manage. That's okay. But again, when you have your eye on the prize and you know who you are and you're sticking to your core values, you are able to navigate, you're able to adapt and adjust to the many roles that you play in everybody's life or in your life as well. So it's not a crime. It's doable, but it comes down to time management. So I do want to offer some tips as to how you can thrive and embrace being a multifaceted woman. And I'm going to say, first and foremost, you are going to have to prioritize self-care. Take it from me. You are going to have to prioritize self-care. You cannot show up in all areas of your life or all the different roles that you take on if you are neglecting your well-being. So you definitely want to set some boundaries to protect your time and your energy. If that means scheduling, if you got to put it on your to-do list to schedule a nap or schedule to breathe, whatever it is, you want to put that on a schedule because you have to set boundaries when it comes to being a multifaceted woman. So you got to take time to breathe. Right now, I have several alarms in my phone just telling me to breathe because sometimes life can be so overwhelming with all the different roles that I forget to breathe So I'm telling myself, I'm scheduling every hour, take a deep breath so that I can make sure that I'm taking a breath so I can handle my anxiety that may come with being a multifaceted woman as well. You also, like I mentioned, you want to be able to be versatile and adaptable. You want to make sure that you can handle a wide range of challenges in any situations and embrace the opportunity or the desire or the ability rather to switch gears to multitask so you can thrive in different environments. Like I often say, I suck at multitasking, but that's not necessarily true. I just know how to adjust and adapt when it comes to being in different space. And I think that's a strength of mine as well. Take time for self-discovery. Get to know yourself deeply by exploring the various things you're interested in, your passion. Think about your core values. Understand what truly matters to you. Understand the why. And make sure that whatever you're doing is aligned with your authentic self. So you definitely want to think about and practice self-discovery. And network. You want to connect with other individuals who may be similar to you, who are other multifaceted women. Because we live in a day and age where networking has always been key, but it's a key even more. So you want to surround yourself with individuals who are supportive and like-minded so that they can be a source of inspiration and strength to you while you go through this phase of your life. You want to continue to learn and grow. Continue to invest in yourself, both professionally and personally. Look for opportunities that you're able to develop your skills in many different areas. Whatever you're passionate about, just continue to learn and grow. And let me tell you, that will make you a much better person when it comes to dealing with your life, your multifaceted life. And the last thing that I will say, something that I don't always do, it's a goal of mine to do more of that, especially even in the new year that's coming, is to celebrate your success. Celebrate your success no matter how small they may seem. And I know that may sound cliche, but we have to celebrate our success. The other day I was having a conversation with my sister, and we were just talking about the year and some of the where she was in her life as a grad student who's getting ready to graduate, where I am, and just where, some of our siblings, where we are and the growth that we've experienced. But because we've been so caught up in the next thing, trying to do something for nonprofit, trying to start whatever, we don't oftentimes realize, wow, we have made an impact or we have come a long way. So sometimes you have to celebrate your success. It doesn't matter how small or how big they are. Always celebrate them. Recognize and acknowledge your achievements in every aspect of your life. Every aspect. Even the moments that are not so good, the moments where you're having to learn a lesson. Again, look for that silver lining. I didn't accomplish something. It's not the end of the world. It wasn't the goal that you set up for yourself, but ask yourself, why didn't I achieve this goal? What is the silver lining? What is the lesson that I'm learning? You know what I mean? So you definitely want to do that because, again, celebrating yourself only motivates you to do better and to do more as well. And it's like a big boost to your self-esteem because believe you me, when I think back about what I've done, the moments when I do it, it's like, wow, it motivates me to want to go ahead and continue doing more in that moment. So definitely you want to do that because being a multifaceted woman is an incredible, incredible journey. Of course, it is filled with challenges. It is filled with tribulations. It is filled with triumphs. It is filled with happiness. So you want to embrace the diversity of your roles. You want to continue to learn. You want to continue to grow, and you want to continue to evolve. You want to ensure that you're prioritizing your self-care. You want to ensure that you're nurturing your personal and professional goal. You want to ensure that you seek support from like-minded individuals. You can navigate your life with confidence when you do these things. Reach out. Don't be afraid to reach out to people who are doing things similar to you. It's just all about embracing your complexity, striving for growth, living the life that is authentically you, unapologetically you. You definitely want to do that. It's a source of strength. It's a source of empowerment. So you definitely want to do that when it comes to being a multifaceted woman. And I will say, it can be overwhelming because sometimes the expectations can be higher. But then when you're setting your boundaries, it should not be as overwhelming. You take a break, factor in time for rest, Think about when you need to recharge, when you need to pour into yourself. These are just some of the things that you need to do. But definitely learn to network, show up for yourself, pour into yourself, refill that self-care bank account so that you can continue to dedicate time, effort, and energy to the many roles that you play in this life. I'm not saying to show up 100% in every area of your life, but the most important thing is doing the best that you can, showing up as authentically and as unapologetically yourself in every aspect of your life. Thank you again for joining me here in the Tea Tasting Room. I look forward to seeing you next week. Thank you for joining me for another episode of Tea with Tanya. If you like this episode, be sure to share it with a friend. Don't forget to follow on Instagram at Tea with Tanya Podcast. Be sure to subscribe to the weekly Tea Talk newsletter. And of course, rate on Apple or Spotify and subscribe wherever you listen. See you next time. I love you for listening.